Me tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad yo no sé si tú lo sientes también. Entonces quiero saber por qué desde que te vi yo vivo diferente. No me importa a mí lo que dice la gente, porque tú siempre la prendes candela. Te quiero a mi lado toda la vida, mi nena. La mano pegada y los pies en la arena. Pase lo que pase, baby, vale la pena. Ay, baby, yo te quiero. Es mentira todo lo que te dijeron. Sabes que mi amor por ti es verdadero. Yo te soy fiel, nena, yo te soy sincero. Juro que yo hago de todo pa' ti. Como rábame todo de ti. Y yo te doy todo de mí. Hay mujeres de todo pa' mí. Juro que yo hago de todo pa' ti. Como rábame todo de ti. Y yo te doy todo de mí. Hay mujeres de todo pa' mí. Desde que te vi yo vivo diferente. No me importa a mí lo que dice la gente, porque tú siempre la prendes candela. Te quiero a mi lado toda la vida, mi nena. La mano pegada y los pies en la arena. Pase lo que pase, baby, vale la pena. Yo no sé cómo lo hace, baby, déjame ser el que te complace. En mi mente corriendo base, me quedo contigo, pase lo que pase. Baby, espero que me ames, me tiene volando en el cielo como las aves. Ey, en el Pampinanes, lo buen sueño el debo ya lo sabe. Juro que yo hago de todo pa' ti, como rábame todo de ti. Y yo te doy todo de mí, hay mujeres de todo pa' mí. Nena loca, me tiene loco en la cabeza cuando me tocas. Siento que todo está bien, pero en verdad yo no sé si tú lo sientes también. Entonces quiero saber por qué desde que te vi yo vivo diferente. No me importa a mí lo que dice la gente, porque tú siempre la prendes candela. Te quiero a mi lado toda la vida, mi nena. La mano pegada y los pies en la arena. Pase lo que pase, baby, vale la pena, porque tú siempre la prendes candela. Te quiero a mi lado toda la vida, mi nena. La mano pegada.
Saludos programas. It is Wednesday, miércoles, and it is time for Los Lobos de Lucha, where this is the Biconic show where we review the last week's CMLL action. So tonight, estoy solo. I'm by myself, so we're gonna do the best that we can do tonight. I am El Buntador. El Segundo. I'm here to give you all the good tidbits from El Viernes Espectacular from the 30th of August. So let's get right into it. And it can't be a CMLL show without the beautiful CMLL dancers. They are on every show and they do a great job. Thank you, CMLL dancers. I don't think enough people give them their flowers. But our first match tonight, we saw the Pequeño Estrellas, your technical team or your babyface team for those American wrestling fans. We had Chakracito, Ultimo Dragoncito, and Fantasy. And on your Rudos team, we had Mercurio, Pequeño Piroz, and Pequeño Olímpico. This is a relevo australiano de uno caída or one fall. Your captain on the Rudos side was Mercurio, and your captain on the technical side was Chakracito. This was a fun beginning match. It was a Pequeños Estrellas, so that is a division in the CMLL. It's, I believe, for any wrestler that's under 5 feet. They do have their own title and everything. It's actually pretty cool. This match was a very fun match, very good beginning match, a lot of energy. The Rudo team, I do have to shout out to Mercurio, Pequeño Piroz, and Pequeño Olímpico. They had some great chemistry together. They really separated your technicals for the duration of this match and worked really well together. But your technicals do end up with the win in this first match, where you had Fantasy and Fantasy pinned Mercurio, and that's what got the technicals the win for this first match. Next match was a relevo australiano, best 2 out of 3 falls, dos de tres caídas, which saw your technicals of Guerrero Maya Jr., Stigma, and Schwelha versus your rudos of El Coyote, Felino, and Felino Jr. This, another really fun, great, lots of energy match. In the first fall, so this is a best 2 out of 3 match. In your first fall, a lot of fun little spots. You had Coyote. He was biting the foot of Felino Jr. But your Rudos ended up with the first win in this Relevo Australiano. The second one, the Rudos stayed in control early, but the Technicals turned it around, really separated the Rudos and got at them. High flying antics by Guerrero Maya Jr. And Schwerha, just fantastic. So your Technicals do end up with the second pinfall and then the third pinfall. So this match went to your technical team. This brings us to our third match of the night, which was a match Relampago. So it was a lightning match in English. And these matches, I've explained them before, but these matches are timed. It's a 10-minute match. This saw two Amazonas, Lluvia, your Técnico, and Persephone, your Rudo, going at it. Beautiful match that highlighted Persephone's power and Juvia's speed and athleticism. These two Amazonas, if you ever get a chance to watch any Amazonas, I feel like right now in CMLL, these two are just great examples of how good this Amazona division is. Persephone was just Juvia hitting the high flying techniques, but Persephone was catching her, tossing her. Persephone had the lead in this match for a majority of the match, and Juvia did have some spots where she came out, and as time ticked down, the match started flipping, and then finally we got to those final few seconds. Juvia was able to get Persephone down, but at the 10-minute mark there was no winner. Juvia only got a 2 count, and the match came out as a tie. It was very exciting. These matches tend to be very exciting. Normally, you'll see a pin in the last few seconds. So to see a tie, I felt was a very special thing to see, especially in this high energy match with these two Amazonas. Great match. It was a great match. Our next match, there was no card because I explain. So this match saw your Rudos of Yota, and then the Infernales, Averno and Euphoria versus Esfinge, Volador Jr., and Místico. This was a Relevo Australiano, best 2 out of 3 pinfall. And if you've been following us, or if you've been following CMLL, you know that Euphoria has a big beef with Esfinge. As a matter of fact, it's coming up next week on the 91st anniversary show. There's going to be a 4-way Máscara contra Máscara contra Máscara contra Máscara match. That means a mask against a mask against a mask against a mask match. And 2 of those participants are Euphoria and Esfinge. And I have complained before that when you get Esfinge and Euphoria in a ring together, as of late, it just seems like they just go after each other's masks. Kind of hyping up this Mascara versus Mascara versus Mascara versus Mascara match that's coming up on the 91st anniversary. But and it's been kind of getting redundant. However, this match was different. You still did have Euphoria and Esfinge going after each other's masks. However, it was done in a completely different way. So to start the match off, you had the Rudos, who were announced first. They came out and they lumped up they were lumping up Esfinge, so much to the point that the announcer, he had to kind of like cut it, and it was actually also comical because like when Místico came down, he still kind of did his entrance thing and then kind of like threw his jacket off at the stairs and jumped into this Donnybrook, if you will. So you had this right here is just a quick glimpse of the first round of action that happened in this match. It went really, really fast. You had Místico and Volador Jr. That was your technical team. I apologize about that. Esfinge, Volador Jr., and Místico. I said that. I'm sorry. But they got a very quick win on Averno and Yota. But then the second pinfall, the Rudos really started to lay into your technicals, and that's where we got the mask gripping. Unlike previous matches, though, where it just like that seemed to be like the main focal point, we did actually see some wrestling, which was nice. What's up, Samoan Watchman? I'm here by myself, so you'll have to excuse if I'm kind of scattered all over the place. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for saying hello. So the kicker of this match was at the end when Euphoria, the Rudos were actually disqualified, and where Euphoria actually ripped Esfinge's mask right off of his head, which right there is a disqualification. But it went a step further because when your referee El Güero Noriega, when he came up to try to break it up, Euphoria not only bowled him over, knocking him down, but also Euphoria super kicked the ref. So it was very, very energetic match, very fun, definitely setting it up for the 91st anniversary, where we are going to see Esfinge, Euphoria, Hechicero, and Valiente all putting their masks on the line. So it's going to be a great match. I'm excited. I'm starting to get that excitement for this match again. And this was our pre-main event. Our main event was the first phase of the Copa Independencia tournament. So the way they did this was a torneo cibernetico. So you had hey, notes, where you at? Right there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you start off with 8 wrestlers, and basically what happens is the first 4 wrestlers that get tossed, they are Team B. So then you have a setup where it's Team A versus Team B, and then they split up, and you have a whole bunch of individual matches. You have to have a wrestler in the ring at all times. Basically, you're trying to pin or submit the other wrestler, and it whittles itself down. So in this match, we had Difunto, we had Villano Tercero Jr., Akuma, Stuka Jr., Star Black, Neon, Templario, and Máscara Dorada. The first person that got tossed was Stuka Jr., followed by Akuma, then Máscara Dorada, and Villano Tercero Jr. That ends up being your Group B. In your Group A, you have Difunto, Star Black, Neon, and Templario. And this is where the fun begins. You had a lot of fast-paced action. You had a lot of great spots, a lot of great outside of the ring spots where wrestlers were just jumping on top of wrestlers on top of wrestlers. It was a lot of fun to watch. But as it went on, Akuma pinned Star Black, so he's out of the tournament. Then Neon pinned Villano Tercero Jr. And we had this fun spot with Máscara Dorada, Akuma, and Difunto. They were all doing like this stacked on top of each other pin, and then Templario comes in and like knocked them all over. It was really cool. After this, we had Stuka Jr. He pinned Difunto. Then Templario pinned Akuma. Máscara Dorada pins Neon. So at this point in this tournament, you have Templario versus Stuka Jr. and Máscara Dorada. They wrestle, and Stuka Jr. gets Templario down, and he goes to pin Templario, but Máscara Dorada pulls Stuka Jr. off of Templario, causing him to not get the pin. So you had a little face-off between Máscara Dorada and Stuka Jr., but they are on the same team, so they can't knock each other out. Come in Templario, he ends up pinning Stuka Jr., which then ends up with Templario versus Máscara Dorada. And when I tell you that this, what followed was just a story of grit and determination. I'm normally not one that enjoys matches where you have a lot of 1-2 oohs, but the way that they set this up was very engaging and had me at the edge of my seat. you know, you could tell, and even on the camera close-ups on the wrestlers, you could tell, you know, they were sweating, they were breathing heavy, they were tired, and they were really getting at it to try to get these this last pinfall. Your winner does end up being Máscara Dorada. Máscara Dorada is the one kind of sort of in the back with the blue mask and the silver gold pants. So that means that he is the winner of phase 1 of this tournament. And he gets to go to the next round of the Copa Independencia. So that was the I think I got a Will. Hi, Will.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. How you feeling?
I'm all right. Trying to. I don't have my background. I'm on a different computer, so I don't have my backgrounds.
That is okay. I ran down the show. So when you're ready, why don't you give us your highlights of the Viernes Espectacular this week?
Okay. Let me get my mask on.
Oh, yep. Got a mask up. Yeah. Get it. All right, now we're ready.
Sorry, I didn't come in prepared.
That's okay.
Okay. Well, it's so funny. Every time I watch one of these programs, I just end up loving it more and more and more, like Lucha Libre in general.
Mm-hmm.
And this was no exception. This was, again, there's just something that is so, I don't even know the right words for it, but it's so much more engaging than like Western or American style. I'll just say American style, not Western style, but like American style wrestling. American style wrestling is all about we used to think it was all about showmanship, but really it's not. I mean, this program is like the definition of showmanship. I mean, it is fantastic. I just love, like I said, the more and more I watch these, and I'll go down rabbit holes. I will go and I'll start like looking into like the histories and it's just the traditions of it, the respect of it. It's almost like a religious experience, and it's very much like revered and respected. And sometimes I think we could use a little bit more of this in American style wrestling. I think honestly, I think we could use a little bit more of less of the, because I think like here, like in Lucha Libre, it's not necessarily a focus on individual wrestlers as a focus on the art itself.
Yeah.
And we have our favorite actors, quote unquote, or favorite performers. But it's like, like American style, it's all about the individual. And I really like, and even if no matter what you are, whether you're, a technical or a rudo, it doesn't matter. It's Lucha Libre. It's the art form that everyone respects. And I love that. And I love the audiences in these events, because the audiences are so animated, and American wrestling audiences, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking them by any means, but sometimes they feel a little staged. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, okay, well, all right, guys, I need you all to do this before we start filming this part. So when this happens, do this. It really kind of feels that way. And here it feels completely natural, and I love it when they pan the camera around the audience just to sort of, and you can see. And so in this one, just like any of the others that I watched, I just fall in love with it again and again and again and again. You know, and it's so funny because we talk when we do our reviews for Western American style, we're always like, "Oh, this episode was okay. This episode was,
it was okay." Yeah.
But this, I'm just like, I love it. I love everything about it. There's, you know, and I know it sounds cheesy, but I don't really have a lot of negative to say about things in the Lucha Libre area. I mean, it's so fun to watch. And it's not even watching it; it's experiencing it.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched any of these, please, God, go watch them. You will not be disappointed. And this episode didn't disappoint either. So that's my take on it.
All right. All right. Were there any matches that stuck out to you that you thought or like stopped you in your tracks and you were like, "Wow, that was really cool"?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, I guess not matches. I mean, well, yeah. Let me think. I thought the opening match was pretty. It's funny because I put it on while I was watching work. While I was at work,
right.
and I would, because as I'm doing work, and I would look and get distracted, of course, and watch that instead of doing work, but. No, I didn't necessarily have a match that I thought stood out. I just thought I was so engrossed in the whole thing that I really didn't have a specific match that I thought was like stupendous. Like I said, I get lost in this. I get lost in it, and it's just because I'm such an amateur at it, but I so get lost in it, and sometimes I have to go back and watch it again, and I had to do that a couple of times.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I've started doing a watch through without taking notes, and then going back and doing another watch through while taking notes, because I enjoy watching it, sitting and watching it. So, this was no, that's not what I wanted. Boop, there we go. That's what I wanted. So this is our card for this upcoming week, this upcoming Viernes Espectacular. So we're going to be starting the show with a Relevo Australiano, which we're going to see Guerrero Maya Jr., Stigma, and Shuelha versus Espanto Jr., Raider, and Dark Magic. We're then going to get a Relevos Increíbles de Amazonas, where we will see La Catalina, Tessa Blanchard, and Hera versus Zeuxis, Reina Isis, and Sanely, who Reina Isis actually, I believe she competed in this past weekend, like an IBFF bodybuilding competition or something like that. She didn't place, but she got an honorable mention from what I understand. So good job there, Reina Isis. After that, we have Volador Jr., Atlantis Jr., and Máscara Dorada versus Ultimo Guerrero, Stuka Jr., and Gran Guerrero. After that, we have a match Relámpago, which we will see Templario versus Sobrano Jr. And that should be a fun one. And then our main event for this upcoming Friday is our second phase to the Copa Independencia, which we're going to see Titan, Averno, Star Jr., Hijo del Velano 3, Dulce Gardenia, Zandokan Jr., and Dark Panther and Crixus, all fighting in the second part for the Copa Independencia. And that's it. This was a great show. Not a lot more announced for the 91st anniversary. As I said, we have that 4-way Máscara match where we have Hechicero, Valiente, Esfinge, and Euphoria all going after each other's masks. And then the only other match of note is the Místico versus Chris Jericho match. And I believe the finals of the Copa Independencia will be on the 91st anniversary show as well. But I have a feeling that coming up this Friday, we're going to get a lot of announcements, a lot more announcements for the 91st anniversary show, which is coming up on the 13th, which I think we're doing a live stream.
I think so. I think so, maybe.
My voice is going high. Yeah.
Which I love. And can I say, I love Templario. The more and more I watch Templario, the more I absolutely love him. So I'm very excited about that fight coming up in in September 24th. I am very excited about that. I just every time I see him wrestle, I just fall for him more. Every time.
Yeah, I play Diablo, and the more and more his ring gear when he first comes out, he looks just like one of the angels from Diablo when he comes out with his armor and the tabard and everything. It just he looks awesome. He just looks awesome. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So that's it for Los Lobos de Lucha. I am El Buntador, el Segundo. Papa Oso, thank you for joining us. You got any parting words?
Check it out. If you're not watching Lucha Libre, you're missing it. You're totally missing it. I kid you not. You will fall in love with it.
Yep. And I believe so you can find us at the BC WrestlePod. We are all over the social medias. We do have a Patreon, and I believe if you join the Patreon, you will be able to join us in the live viewing of the 91st anniversary of the CMLL show. What else? Plugging. You can also check us out at Next Level. I believe that's the guys that do the wrestling website. So you can check us out over there. We have shows pretty much every day of the week, reviewing all the major wrestling brands and all that. So short night. I'm going to get 30 minutes extra of sleep, which makes me happy. So until next week, don't forget that I'm Biconic, you're Biconic, and we are all Biconic. Hablamos luego. Take care, everybody. If I can figure this out. I got this. Hang on 1 second. That's not it. I got this. I think. Where's the thing when we end the show? All right, I'm just going to make us disappear. Good night, everybody.